half a step a walk, right? And then push her forward into the trot. So it's not, some horses I do this when they're lazy. Yeah, and you can change the volume and everything. Some horses I do that kind of half transition and back when they're lazy. Other horses I do it when I want them to rock onto their haunches instead of rushing off. Not even quite a step a walk. It's like almost going into walk and then a little urge back into a trot, okay? And I don't mean like huge trot, it's just kind of like a half halt and a trot, you know, essentially. So it's an almost transition, okay? And then push her forward, yeah. And we'll do it maybe more on the long side than coming towards the corner. It's risky coming towards the corner. Don't let her rush off in the trot. And then a little forward after that. Yeah, good. Lovely seat. Keep your hands a little bit separate from your seat. Not too quick now that you ask her forward. We'll do a few more of those, okay? Not always necessarily approaching a corner, because sometimes then when you ask her to go forward, in this pattern, yeah, absolutely rebalance her at the beginning of a corner in a test or something. But when we're doing that almost walk back into the trot, and if you do it approaching a corner, sometimes you lose a little bit of the balance. And keep your seat. Good. Let's do that a few more times. Nice mover, huh? What a nice horse there. Did we lose one earbud? You can still hear me in one, right? Okay. These are tough a little bit to keep in people's ears sometimes. Is it going to work for you? Okay. When you do the rein back to correct her and she's not being violent, you know what I mean? You said sometimes you have to really be strong about it. Make sure she doesn't curl, okay? You want her to still come up to that contact. You want even the rein back to feel like it's in front of the leg, right? If possible. Sometimes these things are not easy. Ready? All right. Good. That was it right there. Okay, now let's move on. I want to do a leg yield from the quarter line to the rail. She's about second level, you said? Don't let her run off. Anytime you need a full down transition because you're losing it, please. Even if I don't say it, that's fine. Keep a little flexibility from your elbows. Soften her a tiny bit in the bridle. Good. Very pretty horse. Now turn a little sooner even than the quarter line, okay? Turn your upper body. Good. Swing your hips. Ah, nice. Good. A little more forward thinking hands. You want her to come to the bridle. You don't want to feel like you're pulling back and bringing her to the contact. She has to come to you, to the contact. Good girl. Let's change rein, do it the other way, okay? Get all the way down into the bottom of the saddle with sitting. You're cheating. You're perching a little bit, and then she needs to come down to that bridle, come down to that bit. You can't feel like you're coming back with your hands to bring her onto the bit. I think your fly is down. Sorry to say that.
I'm sorry.
I didn't. That looks funny. I know that a rider would even care. We just go around. It doesn't matter. But you are being videoed. So funny. Let's do a few more of those transitions. Ah, good. And keep your right hand just a little more in front of the saddle. Do a little squiggle of the rein that she doesn't have her little tongue sticking out. You have a little bit of an issue there. You will unfortunately lose some points at a horse show with that, okay? And let's do a quarter line and a leg yield this way. All the way down into the bottom of that saddle. Separate your hands from your seat. Make sure you have a beautiful seat, beautiful leg position. You've got it all going for you, okay? But you've got to really make sure that at all times you keep your hands separate from your body. And this is a beautiful frame. And let's go back and do that leg yield. Turn a little bit earlier this time. We'll do that leg yield again. You need to wiggle your hands when the tongue comes out. Yeah, is that what you said? Yeah, you need to, absolutely. It's not out right now. But when it is, yeah, you need to do a little correction. Keep her little mouth busy. Make sure, I think part of it is you've got to really make sure that you're not coming back with your hands to make that connection happen, okay? It's a really cool way to think of it. That I had a clinic with Judy Harvey, and she said the horse needs to come down to the bit. And not on the forehand to the bit, but they need to look like they're reaching towards the bit, not that we're coming back, you know? Good. And then let her walk. I want to see the canter. When the mouth is busy and happy and foamy and all that, you're not going to end up with as much of a tongue issue. But you'll see it. You'll see it in the video. The slight difference. Your hand is here versus there. It's tiny. Rigid, is that what you said? Yeah.
I know it's there.
Here, help her bring it in now. Good, 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 good. Yeah, and the way to work on it is to really always constantly be thinking that you have to put yourself all the way down into that saddle and not hover. Not squeeze too much with your thighs that you squeeze yourself right out of that saddle, and you follow with your hips. You know, you're strong. You're a strong person. You're a strong rider. And you have to make sure that you're isolating which areas you're getting a little bit more firm with, that it's not everything then firms up. And you'll feel that. You're like, I'm sitting better. Ugh, and then your arms come a little tight, you know? And just work. There's no shortcut to it, you know? Just working through it. Let's go, and we're gonna pick her up and start doing a little bit of canter. You're gonna fix that tongue issue. It's not gonna be a problem. I mean, I'm sure it has been a little bit of a problem, but it's doable. What was that? Yeah, good. You can bet when she gets nervous, it's gonna come out again. And that happens at a horse show. So it's good you come to a new place. You know, get her used to it without getting scored.
I do want to show.
I think you should show. Yeah. The tongue. Yeah. Now get it back in again. A little squiggle. Good. Something that I will do with them sometimes is, if it becomes a big issue, I'll cut a apple wedge. And I'll put the apple wedge in there right before I tighten the flash, and I'll make the flash just a little bit not so happy tight. They won't really like it that much, but get them out of that cycle of sticking it out. So then they have something to suck on. And they're not able to really fit that tongue out, you know? I know everybody's like, oh, I don't want to make the flash too tight. But you got it yourself into a little bit of a problem. And then the other half of it is really like this, so much better. Making sure that your hands are not at all involved with anything that's happening with your seat, right? And it's in, and her mouth is moving, and it's happy, and there's foam, and it's fabulous. Now go into your canter when you're ready, and take a little bit of time. Oh, you were ready. All right. Now I know you've been riding with Monica, right? And she's really good about thinking about that outside rein. And now you got to make sure you do a little squiggle on the right side because the tongue's out. So you've got to stay focused on keeping the outside rein, softening a little on the inside, swinging your hips so that you're not just rocking your shoulders. Ah, good. And do a circle. Good. All right. A little bit of bend in your elbow. Make sure your thumbs aren't pointing too down. I can tell that might be happening because your tip of your whip is pointing up instead of down. And swing your hips so that your shoulders don't move quite so much. Good. All right. Let's do a little canter the other way. Isn't that a pretty horse? How's Classy doing?
Great. She's so much fun today.
Oh, good. Soften her in the bridle. Correct her right there. Yeah, get that tongue back in. Good. Maybe you need a little bend in your elbow, that it's not just your wrist that bends when the little tongue issue happens. We're going to do that canter the other direction. What was that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to think pushing down to the bottom. You need to think that the hands are doing a completely separate thing from what the seat is doing. You know? You're going to end up with a very small problem with the tongue. It's a very big problem. But I think maybe if she does have the tongue problem, you're going to have to suck it up and make the flash just a little bit tighter for a little while, even if she's not
It has
happy.
gotten 80% better since
That's what they. Oh, good. That's what they were saying. Yeah.
I was stunned that
That
a
is-
horse with this caliber of pedigree and background and who she'd been with the trainers.
How much of a mouth problem? Oh.
So I think that, and that's only been a month.
Oh, good.
She's
Let's see the
just-
canter this way.
She's just having to learn new habits.
Soften a little on the right. And remember to separate the hands from the body. You can say that a lot of times, right? We can say that and say it and say it. And what do we mean by that? Your hips are following the canter. You're doing a little bit of a soften in the bridle, and that you're not totally locking your elbows, that you can't follow that slight head nod in the canter. I don't want you to overdo it. Now you're being a little bit too kind, huh? Yeah. If you need to shorten the right rein, go for it. If you feel like you're over flexing that wrist and it's completely ineffective, fine. Good. I think you have a really nice show horse, you know? Good. And then into the trot, keep the connection. She needs to start carrying as you get her working more, carrying a little bit more weight behind. You need to be a little bit more hard on her in the canter about taking weight behind. Just like we were schooling in the trot about that little almost walk, you know? In the canter, you're gonna get to the point, we're not gonna really get too much into it today, of feeling like you're about to ask for the walk from the canter pretty frequently. You are talking about that you're schooling things from second level, right? So she needs to be going into a little bit more of a put together canter. You locked that right hand, or right arm, you ended up in trouble there. Now right there, you asked her to come back a little bit, and I felt like you got a little bit hard with your seat and your hands at the same time. That's very subtle, you know what I mean? It's really a subtle thing, but the horses can feel it, right? Believe me, you're a beautiful rider, beautiful seat, but just have to become a little bit more effective, right? There, you're thinking about it with your right hand there. All right. Pretty good. You're gonna watch on the video what happened with your hands in the transition. There was a little bit too much movement, losing the independence, you know. Let's see where you are with the idea of bringing her back in the canter a little bit, okay? Without her curling in the net. Yeah. That means, oh, we're asking for that too much with the rein, right? Not with the shorter follow with your seat. Okay, and straight ahead. Watch that you don't lean against the reins. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Back into your canter when you're ready. And then I do want to go around the whole arena. Keep your right hand down a little bit. Just because we lost that straight line from the elbow to the bit, right? A little bit forward thinking with your right hand sometimes. Careful, the haunches went too much out in that turn. Okay, back to your canter when you're ready. I think you are. All right. Keep your jump in the canter. Is she looking at the bicycles? Good girl. Keep your seat. If you do a big correction in the bridle, I want to make sure that you keep your seat, right? You don't want to get rigid with your seat, tighten her back, right? Excuse me. Now, are you asking for that? Good. All right, and then a little forward. Good. Right shoulder a little down and back. Let's change direction. You want to do a trot change across the diagonal? You're getting a little rigid. Yeah. Your horse is worried. Abort mission. You can turn right if you need to. If it's not working, there you go. Good. If things aren't working, we can change the program. You got lucky that you were able to recover there. Watch the tongue. Keep your hands a little bit more forward thinking, and then when you're ready, into your canter. I asked for that change of rein with the trot change, and you know what? If it's not possible, we change the program. It doesn't have to be that we got to make it work if she's got tension, you know? We can go back and approach that trot change when she's a little bit more with you, you know? Watch your left leg doesn't swing. I like that you're thinking about getting her to take more weight behind, but I want to make sure we don't lose the jump in the canter in the process, okay? Yeah, it still has to have that power. This is a very talented horse. And keeping a little softer feel, swinging with your, following with your hips, I should say. Good. So good about keeping your toes forward. I'm so jealous. Mine are always out. So let's try that change of rein back into your canter. Let's try that change of rein this way and with the canter trot canter, okay? So you can go in a circle and pick up your canter. Yeah. So it's balancing that rocking onto the haunches with keeping that activity, right? Make sure you don't sit too much to the outside there. And let's try that change of rein with the trot change. Separate those hands from your body a little bit. Ah, there you go. It's not even always so much obvious as that I can see what's going on with the body. And then try your right lead canter. I can see when she's lost it, she starts to curl, you know? When she's lost the swing over her back and you're locking a little in your body, you know? Yeah, go for a little bigger canter. Why not? Push a little forward. Ah! Ooh, she's got power. Don't be scared of it. Keep her going for a little bit. Yeah. See if you can find a better way to bring her back. Maybe a little turn, you know, maybe turn onto a 20-meter circle to bring her back. Maybe now start bringing her back thinking, push her forward a few strides and then bring her back thinking a little turn. You're riding what you think she's gonna do, and you know what? She didn't pull it this time. Maybe she did and you were just really clever about it, but she's got a ton of power. You're gonna have to sometimes risk it. Go for a little lengthening. And if you feel it starting to get out of control, then do a large half circle to start bringing her back, you know? Keep those hands separate from your body. I really liked that little surge of energy. I know you were going, oh God, I know what she's gonna do. But I don't know, and I didn't see it. But it had a little bit more power. I think she had a little more power. Okay, when you're ready, down transition. That was interesting. Nice. Do a little surge here in the trot. You're thinking, oh, I'm gonna take a walk break, but you had such a nice trot there. Do a moment forward. Yeah, wow. And try not to pull when you bring her back, right? Your horse can move, girl. And you can ride it. And when you are ready, you can walk. Okay, you have to ride the horse that you have right now. You can't ride the memory of the horse that you had, the story you told me. What was that? Right. Sorry, you have a horse with a motor that can move. And you can ride it.
She's here, and look how good she's being.
Exactly.
You just have to let go of the memory.
You do. It's. I get it.
Change your name. Say, I got a new horse.
But you do. You have to ride the horse you have today. And sure, if things go to shit, go and fix it. Fine. But if they don't, now you have a horse that's moving for an 8 every single stride. Okay, you know. Wait, you gotta come over here and we'll chit chat because you have no idea how deaf I am. I really should have a hearing
Can I
aid.
post this over on by the bathrooms?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Here, Joe, we're gonna go for it.
Yeah, what are your
Her
thoughts?
show history is really good.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
she's a wonderful mover.
I think I'm just, when I first met her, I was like really
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I kind of lack confidence. I won't go there. The only person I tend to go there is with Cindy because Cindy's ridden her for such a long time.
And she knows.
If I did get in trouble, she would know where to go.
Yeah.